Collective, this is your October 14th, 2025 reading, and I am pulled an astrology card on what is going on with the collective. This is interesting because something that just popped out for me is that there's a lot of people losing their jobs, and I feel like people are being called to change locations, go back to the land, do something different, something more tangible, something more earth related. So Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn are earth signs because you got the earth element stability. There's something about stability that people are looking for, but it's almost like you're being asked to change a direction, slow down, focus on a solid foundation instead of a speedy foundation. Okay, I'm actually going to read some stuff out of the book. So the book says, now is a time to draw upon your strength. Think of yourself as solid and sure as a rooted tree. You are firm. Nothing can knock you out of your spot. The signs. So Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn are the signs that keep us centered, but more aptly fastened to the ground. Our dreams become manifest in what is real, not in what isn't imagined. I'm almost getting people changing jobs. A lot of people making changes, almost doing something that's more hands-on, more of the earth, more solid, more stable, something that's real, more tangible, if that makes sense. A little less computer, a little more electrical, becoming electricians, where you might have been an IT person, or something different, something very earthy. But this is asking you also to not to become stubborn. And it's not time for criticizing, because that's very Virgo-ish, or rushing. That's asking you to slow down and really think about what it is that you need to do for yourself and how can you build upon something. This can indicate being fixed in your views and not willing to try something new. It is time to stop plotting and let go of your fears. This card is about building blocks, building a home, building a foundation for your life in this way. You're building a master plan on what works. You might even be starting a business. You might even be building a home builder. Okay, at worst, this card could represent hoarding and not being able to let go of things. Materialism may play into this. It may indicate working for tomorrow while not living in the present. You're encouraged to relax, take a break, and return to the garden. It is not time to rush things. Patience is needed to get where you want to be, and a mad rush could cause your tower to collapse. You don't want your tower to collapse. So in brief, here's some extra information. So there's something about mountainous areas where some people might be moving to mountainous areas, crossing over lands, land deeds, real estate, buying or selling land, growing your own food, getting back to nature, eating healthier, the woods, tending to creatures, being closer to earth, setting down foundations, making a change. Definitely something about getting more back to earth, building something that's stable and more tangible. Okay. What messages do we have here for the collective? What messages do we have for the collective regarding this earth element? What added information does the collective need? I know that there's been a lot of layoffs, and I know it's a very tech kind of layoff. I know Amazon is doing a big layoff. Dell's doing a big layoff, but there's lots of layoffs, and I just feel like there's a lot of people who are going to be going towards something different, more trades, I guess you could say. I mean, they're not glamorous, but shit, they pay a lot. Excuse my language. Like electricians, oh my God, I saw my friend's paycheck, $4,000 a week. You can't beat that. You cannot beat that. Okay. What other messages do we have for the collective? Yeah. I see a lot of enthusiasm, optimism. There is a little bit of what's hidden can be really scary. Like who knows what's going on? I mean, our economy sucks. Our job market's not very good right now. I know that. It's like, who knows what's going to happen, where it's going to go from here. But I feel like if you're willing enough to kind of like take a step back and maybe get back into that like really young, optimistic, like when you're young and you're like, yeah, I'm going to take everything by whatever. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of you getting back into that, like that spark of inspiration. I feel like there's going to be a lot of job applications put in. I feel like there's going to be messages sent to you. Oh my God. Okay. There's a mountain. Oh, that's interesting. Why did I just never notice this until now? There's kind of like a tower here. There's a tower, there's an explosion, there's a volcano. On the Page of Wands, that's really interesting. Okay. Knight of Wands. You're finding the strength to like persevere. Maybe quite possibly partnering up with somebody. The Hangman, that's Pisces. Needing to get past those like self-imposed limitations. And like, because this is Earth, it is allowing you to slow down and kind of contemplate. Yeah, I'm kind of getting, if you're making quick, rash decisions at this time, it's going to not end up well. You need to kind of slow down and really think about, I mean, the information might even come into your dreams. Because this is the Pisces card, that's very dreamy, it's the moon. I feel like in dream time is when you're really going to get your most information. Leo, strength. Now I'm just getting like success, like physical strength, inner strength, taming the beast, power over things that are, oh, that's interesting. I just noticed there's 3 of them. 3 volcanoes. Sorry, I just zoned out for a second. So 3 fire signs and 3 kind of watery signs. Let's keep going on. Sorry, I feel like I'm starting to get myself a little confused. All right. So here's the problem. What you really need to be careful of is focusing on the negative. I feel like you might be getting offered things that maybe aren't exactly what you're going for, but it might be exactly what you need just for like now. Be careful not to get stuck in dissatisfaction. And in the daydreaming, be careful of depression. King of Pentacles, businessman, Tower. I don't know why the Tower keeps coming out. Sudden changes, something is going to happen. This might be our job market, like economy might collapse. I don't know, I hate being this negative person, but this is asking you to be stable. Like, this is asking you to stay grounded during this time. Something is going on with our economy. There's going to be a collapse. There's going to be a lot of volatility. Sorry, I can't even talk. What other messages do we have? I just want to clarify this tower. Clarify this tower. Clarify this tower. Two of Pentacles, decisions. There's going to be changes, lots of changes. Good ones, bad ones. Unstable temperament. Give me 2 more cards regarding this Earth and death. There's going to be ending to something. There's going to be a lot of job losses. Major upheaval. Liberation. Freedom, though. Like, I just saw that liberation. The world. Okay. Something big is going to change. There's going to be a lot of people moving from here to there. A lot of things are going to be happening in our stock. How am I saying stock market? Okay. In our economy, there's going to be major changes. There's going to be an end to something. But when the World card comes, that's the end. But then something new has to start. Something new is going to be starting. I don't know what this is. Like, I'm out there. I don't even know what any of this means. It's just, that's just kind of like what I'm getting. I don't know where it's going. Okay, all I can say is this is asking you to stay grounded in this situation. What other messages do we have? What does the collective need to know in order to make it past this rough economy? This is just totally economy driven reading. What messages do we have for the collective regarding this reading, the economy? Fork in the road, there's a decision that has to be made. Considering the consequences. Yeah. So any decision you make, there is a consequence in that. For the good, for the bad. I mean, who knows what is good or bad. Really. Growth, new life. See, building blocks. Your building blocks, your strong foundation is your values and your ethics and your moral, your core belief, like your total work in progress. I feel a lot of people just kind of like got knocked down off of, okay, that's what it is. There's been a lot of companies, and we see this like we've seen this in China where there's been companies that have been built off of nothing. There's been a lot of companies in the United States that have been built off of nothing. There's a lot of companies that have been on borrowed time, and they have a lot of employees, and they were not solid companies. And I think what's going to happen is a lot of these things are going to fall apart. It's going to hurt people. But in the end, there's going to be major changes in our infrastructure. And infrastructure is not even a freaking word I even say. It's so weird. A leg up, I just feel like we're going to get help. We're not going to have to do this alone. All of this is fated. All of this is karmic. Okay. Ooh. I don't know where all this is coming from. Okay, let's just do the power of surrender cards. What is it that we need to surrender in order to make it past this? Because this is rough. Trust me, I feel it. I don't make the money I used to. I probably make half of what I used to. And it hurts, but I'm barely making a buy. And you know what? But I am. And so I eat and I have a roof over my head. And you know what? That's all I really can ask for at this time. What does the collective need to surrender? What does the collective need to surrender at this time? Oh my lord. Okay, this is weird. This came up twice. Fear of intimacy. Like what? This is kind of like out of nowhere. You're ready to let love and compassion identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. Okay, well, that's kind of whatever. That's for somebody. What does the collective need to release? Surrender your attachment to results. Yeah, so I know we have an idea of what we want. Just be careful. You might not get exactly what it is you want, but you might get exactly what you need. And surrender the habit of people pleasing. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. Yeah, if people pleasing is helping you from building a solid foundation, then yeah, don't do it. Say what you have to say. Okay, Ascended Masters. What does Ascended Masters have to say about all this going on in the world? What messages do the Ascended Masters have for the collective? Meditate. Yeah, it's definitely asking you to meditate, because I swear to God, I find all my answers when I meditate. Spiritual law of attraction. Be super, super careful how you think. You don't want to bring in what you don't. So just focus on what you want and don't focus on what you don't want. And listen. What other messages do we have from the Ascended Masters for the collective? Find a blessing in your current situation and balance career and your home life. And you are seeing this situation accurately. I feel like we're definitely, since 2020, we've been starting to see what's really going on in the world. This is saying open your heart to love and artistic expression. So if you're an artist and you want to go that direction, maybe working from home, making things, selling it on Etsy, maybe this is a time for you to start doing that. That might help bring some stability into your life. And also to open your heart to love. Don't let all this stuff going on in the world close your heart. Because this was saying open yourself to intimacy. Surrender your fear of intimacy. Yeah, don't be afraid to show people that you care for them, because this is a time now where things are really hard for people. Show them that you care, like they matter to you, and I think that will do that for you and kind of keep that like sadness, that anxiety, that depression away. The more that we care about each other and help each other, I think the world would be a lot better place. Okay, that is the end of this reading. I hope that like you got a little bit of insight. I wasn't expecting it to go that way. Give me a message, leave me a message, let me know, did any of this make sense to you? Because it was like all over the place for me. All right, well, you have a good rest of your day.